Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020, and lately I have been frustrated by the fact that the only thing I can seem to catch bass on is a wacky rig Senko. That's been the story for about the past 2 months. As effective as Senkos are, and as great a lure as they are, they're not very fun to fish. So this evening, I have come to a local pond to make a concerted effort to catch a bass on something other than a Senko. In fact, this little tackle box here, this has every one of my Senkos in it. Let's get this Senko-less party started. So I'm going to start out by hucking around a spinnerbait, which you could argue is like the anti-Senko. It's big, bulky, it's flashy, makes a lot of vibration, and bass won't sip on this like a brown trout sipping on a dry fly. They will smash this thing like it owes them money. And that's really what I'm after today, is just drag-ripping, line-stretching, bone-jarring strikes. One thing about this pond, if you can't catch any fish, you can usually catch a few lures that are hanging out of trees. This looks like a nice little crankbait for panfish or small bass. I could definitely put that to use. Well, nothing jarring my bones so far, but it does feel good to just be hucking and winding again. Also, it is absolutely beautiful out right now. It is a gorgeous late summer / early fall evening, and it is just a joy to be out here doing some fishing. Here I go with the whole, oh, it's wonderful to just be out and catching fish is secondary, and you know, that's true, but that is a truth that is usually clung to by people who don't catch very many fish. And I certainly hope that I am not falling into that demographic. Well guys, spinnerbait is not treating me too well, so decided to go ahead and toss around the whopper plopper. I'm actually not seeing a ton of activity right now, so I'm thinking maybe the whopper plopper will get some pure reaction strikes from fish that are just milling around. Here we go, the dreaded sunset shot. If this winds up being the thumbnail, then it's probably not going to be a very action-filled video. Unless you consider me running my mouth to be action. Well guys, so far my plan stinks. I wonder if slamming the door on my Senkos also slammed the door on my chances of catching any bass today. Gonna throw around the buzzbait, because why not, right? Oof! Of course. Of course, the one hit I get, I miss it. Dang it. Ironically, you know what's a great bait to toss in where you just missed a fish on a buzzbait? A Senko. Well guys, I am starting to see some smaller bait fish flipping around on the surface. So I switched away from the buzzbait and now I'm going to start throwing around this little crankbait in the hopes that maybe with these smaller fish getting active, the larger fish will be keyed in on that particular profile. Starting to get a little dark. Gonna have to wrap things up pretty soon. Fish or no fish, my fishing day is quickly coming to an end. Well guys, I've got maybe a few minutes left, so I clipped off that crankbait. Now I'm gonna close out the evening throwing around the Rebel Pop R. This is my last ditch effort. We'll see if the Pop R, which has been magical for me in the past, still has a little bit of magic left in it. Well guys, that is that. Today's mission was a failure. Tried my very best to catch a bass on anything but a Senko. But without that bait, without that crutch, I was not able to land a single bass. So, I don't know if it says that the Senko is the best bass catching lure ever made, or if I just made a bunch of bad decisions tonight, but one thing I do know is that somewhere on a ranch in Texas, Gary Yamamoto is laughing his ass off. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.